Well, good day. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your SPDR-ETF stock market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for the evening. As we're now on, what time are we, by the way? We're at 6:50 p.m. on this Wednesday, the 13th of December, 2023. So, a huge event. This is a watershed event. Huge day. Fed pivot. The pivot occurred today. We've been in the pause mode, and now the Fed chair said it is highly unlikely we will get another interest rate hike. Doesn't mean it can't happen. Highly unlikely doesn't mean we won't. Number two, they did, when asked, begin discussing rate cuts. The markets went bonkers. The stock market roared. That's all you could say. This didn't happen in the statement. This happened in the press conference after 1:30. And it went bananas. You hit all-time highs in the Dow Jones, up 500 and some odd points in some indices in there. It just craziness as it went on. And that's because the market realizes the importance of this. Now, the arguments will be from this point forward for a long time. When is the first cut going to happen? Immediately, the CME Fed Watch went to 77% probability for March, 90 some odd percent for May. You don't know that. You've got to get a lot of economic data. The Fed will watch it. And remember, inflation is still rising, just not at the pace that it was. That's the key. So many people think inflation, it's falling. It's not rising as much as the proper grammar. Remember, the Fed's shooting for a 2% rise. They didn't say a decline, 2% rise. So they're trying to get down that road where they're 50% away from it in the core CPI number, if you think about that. The headline's getting closer, but they're recognizing that they don't want to get overly restrictive. They don't want to choke off the economy. They've come to the belief that labor is very much more in balance than it was a year ago. They're not seeing the wage gains. They're starting to now back off, as I'm backing off right here. That is what's going on. You have 4 more central banks tomorrow. Wow. So I don't know what they call that at a racetrack, because I don't bet on horses, but it's got to be some crazy name that they always have. I don't think it's a trifecta. Tri would be 3. It's got to be trifecta. I don't know what it is. But to make a long story short, you got the European Central Bank, the Bank of England. You got the Swiss National Bank, Norge Bank. So you've got 4 European banks that have to make a decision, and now they saw what the Fed did. Whatever their plan was, they're discussing it again. What do we do? They can afford to go quicker than us. Their economies are weaker. And therefore, they don't have to look as constrained against us because we just gave them the go-ahead. Go start, get a lot easier, a lot faster. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't like going through central bank meetings. You never know what's going to happen, let alone what's going to be said, let alone how the markets react to it. Then we get the yin-yang impact. I got to say this to you. Our Fed is at 1 o'clock, the statement. At 1:30, the press conference, which goes for about an hour. And listen, what time is that in Asia? They're sleeping. Europe has left their offices at that time. It's 6:30 to 7:30 at night in most spots. They're gone. They're out to dinner, and then everybody wants to see what are the reactions. Then they see hours later, another 2 hours where the market's closed here. Then they have to deal with it starting in Asia. Is it too much? Did we overshoot? What's going on here? Then Europe, they either go, yeah, that's it. But tomorrow for Europe's a rough day to do that with all these central banks. It's a mess tomorrow. Just remember what I said. Cosmic, okay? That's what it is. McDonald's isn't up because of McDonald's. McDonald's is up because all the buzz on this cosmic store, and there's 10 more going to be built. I didn't realize you can't even go in them. They're basically pull-ups. There's no bathrooms, as I just read. You can't go in to sit down and have anything. So it's a fancy, get them in, get them out, let them get their drinks. That's what it is. This is all about coffees, smoothies, other drinks, juice drinks, and energy drinks of different types that they're concoctions, along with 3 or 4 foods, no McDonald's fries, no burgers, and to see if this works. It's a direct shot against Starbucks, a direct shot against Dunkin' Donuts. Absolutely direct shots. And so far, the market's giving them the benefit of the doubt. You know, look at how this market has come back. This has just been a phenomenal run. And it all began, the markets were panicking with the student loans and what that would do and how the students wouldn't eat and they wouldn't have the money. And then when that happened and it started coming back, Darden did this as well as McDonald's. So the foods came back alive. You've had bullish crossovers of the 18 over the 100 and this over the other. And now you're at a spot that's too rarefied. Now, I'm going to repeat. If you please, if you haven't taken the enhanced Bollinger Band course that I have, move your cursor to the top here. It'll take you or go to iraepstein.com under the word education. At the end of this, I'll put an ad about it as well. This is what you learn. How do you work with this? You're over the Bollinger Band. Where's momentum with it? Is it a get out of all longs? Is it a buy on breaks? What do you do? Do you buy over that number? I'm not going to teach you here. You take the course. You're going to get these patterns all over the place right now. And that's because of all these central bank actions. Look at how Rivian, down in the toilet, came back, challenged that 200-day average, and came to life. Now, Tesla's got a recall of 2 million cars. So my brain is going, how are they going to get 2 million cars for a recall? Because I'm used to you got to go to your dealership. I didn't realize their recall apparently is a software update. How hard can that be to do? How many does my Apple phone do when they come out? I just had another update. By the way, it screwed my whole phone up. Every time I go into a store that has Wi-Fi, which I never go on because I'm convinced they'll steal, it tells me I got to update my phone. I made a setting change. I don't know if I did the right thing. Otherwise, I'm running to Apple because something is very wrong, all since this update. But lower highs, lower lows, and you can see markets oversold in the gasoline fund. Okay, but it's not embedded. Embedded is the key with it. Not there yet. Then the financials. Well, today was Valhalla for them. I'm going to heaven. Hallelujah. The Fed has done it. They got religion. They see what's coming on. They finally got the message. And these people are jumping up and down. Now, just be careful. The odds of staying over a Bollinger Band are 5% of the time. You had lost the embedded reading. You got it back. There's a way to play that. I teach it in the course. XLI, the industrials, absolutely came alive. Now, they're doing something classic. Do you notice how you're keeping the embedded reading where the yellow and red are over 80, going sideways and just staying like that for a long time? These are classic ways to come in this market. There's a number on the chart that I teach you to apply, and if it hits it, there's a way to come in, should you desire to do that. Now in the movie theater, I think $7 is going to be the key. I still think here's what's going to happen. Having owned the movie theater, I'm giving you what I think. I'm still a chartist. I wouldn't put money until the chart tells me. I think this is going to base out, which it's doing. I think the market's getting ready, and it'll be positive if Aquaman does well, and then the market goes into a little lull from January into early February. There's no real movie, big ones that come out. Come the end of February, the big releases are going to start coming at you. So the end of the first quarter should be where money's starting to be made. The market won't wait for then, so we got to be on top of that. That's my game plan. Make back the money I lost owning a movie theater. Higher lows, higher highs. You can see how the market up to the upper band. I'm still friendly. Where's the consumer dead? What about you and I going through the newspapers? How many times are they dead? They're loading up for Christmas on pay-as-you-go. They got to do it that way. I showed you what a firm was doing. Big business. People are doing it. The consumer's alive. Now, guess what? With lower interest rates, they're going to get more money to spend. And yes, today rates took a beating. Real rates fell rather hard today. So the people that were betting you were going to keep going over 6%, they just got their butt handed to them on a silver platter, and they're not going to be right. It will take an event. Now, could there be an event that makes the Fed have to change game? Of course. What is it? It's right in front of you. The U.S. gets dragged into a war in the Mideast, and or Russia attacks a NATO member, and we have to go to war to defend them. You don't think those two events are real? There's something wrong with you. I am not saying they're going to happen. I am saying they're staring you and you wanted events that could change all this. I've just given to you what it would be. America goes to war, changes everything. XLE, the energy sector, still bearish. Now, the COP28 came out very nicely and agreed that fossil fuels have to be addressed. They're going to be gone 2030, blah, blah, don't believe a word. And the reason is we did this in Dublin a couple of years ago. And then we were attacking coal. Do you know what coal production has done in the past 2 years? Is anybody bothering to look? Okay. GLD, lower highs, lower lows, but you just took away the headwind in gold. What's been holding gold back recently? We were all fearful, another Fed meeting, the Fed's going to stay tighter for longer. That's not happening. The dollar would be propped up because of that. That didn't happen. It fell 100 points today. So you just remove those headwinds and you wait for the morning because this market didn't get a chance to completely digest it. It got some of it. Remember, this market closes at 3. The futures markets closed at 12:30. That's why they're up $55 tonight, and the gold and silver's up $1.25 on the futures, all right? But you caught that here, and you can see, which number did you go to and where did you stop? Lo and behold, that Bollinger Band again. What the hell is with that thing? Getting the story yet? Copper coming right up to where it should fail. You heard me fail. The 100-day average upper Bollinger Band and not trending. It can go higher. The smart money is not going to own it over that band, in my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right. TLT, between here and the 200-day average, now you're in your resistance zone. Be careful. The professional money, I think, is going to start trimming back long positions at this point. Are you embedded? Let me show you. You lost the embedded reading right here. Right there. You didn't hit this number at that point. If you get through this number, the odds are you're going to the closest Bollinger Band or above it, 200-day average. You just did it. So I think you're going to hit that tomorrow. And that could be an area that I think the pros wait for the market. Doesn't mean I'm right, but I'm guessing tonight. UUP, higher high, lower low. This zone could be support or the Bollinger Band in the dollar, which means the FXE right here. Why am I not comfortable with either? Because you got 4 central banks making decisions tomorrow. Anything can happen. You put it together. You come up with game plans. That's my job with you. Please take this course. You'll see the ad right here. You can move your cursor. IraEpstein.com education. Learn. What's your Christmas gift to yourself? Everybody. Education. I'm Ira. I'll see you tomorrow.